it seems like T1 keeps getting better. It seems like they've solved all their problems, and who knows? If they can win here, maybe they can take this whole thing.
It's possible, but obviously the big curveball is Zest now showing up. And of course, we're just getting the reminder that the top 3 teams here in Pacific, they already have locked in their tickets to Masters Tokyo and going out to VCT champions. But the real immediate reward that you're going for is to become that inaugural champion here in VCT Pacific. It only comes around once, right? The inaugural title only happens that one time here in 2023. See which one out of DRX and T1 will have the chance to go up to the grand finals for a shot.
Starting this VCT Pacific season off, we really thought T1 was good, but certainly wasn't going to get this far. But here they are now. DRX is going to have to pull out all stops here if they're going to manage to come out ahead. We start this off at Ascent. DRX here on the attacking side this time, leaning over towards A, and of course T1 here to defend both sites.
Yeah, so DRX initially just cutting sound, but because of the one way, they will have to throw out their utility, even jumping through the smoke just to make sure. They do decide to just walk on through, but Carpe starts it off with one. Not the entire force is not in just yet from DRX. Buzz finally getting that kill, making sure the site is safe for his teammates.
Yeah, getting that door shut, allowing the rest of the DRX players to spill in. This spike will be planted, and it's going to be up to a retake over here. Saya gets the first, and the spike plant is interrupted.
Yeah, but this allows time to get in. The door was already broken, so DRX can't plant just yet because they don't have full information. Zest needs to come to create a crossfire to check heaven first so they can start to peek back out. Now they have the setups.
Carpe and Munchkin around door, looking to swing out. The smoke obfuscates the position here.
The knife gets destroyed, so they're not sure exactly how many members are in the site yet, but they just swarm in with the double angle.
2 in hell. Mako gets the drop. Zest gets the kill here. It's going to be Zest right now versus Zeta and Carpe.
Carpe with 4!
Incredible first round here. And a big win for T1. We knew coming into this could look very close, like a real back and forth for these two teams. And when you have teams that are this evenly matched, that pistol round is so important.
Yeah, and that, Achilleos mentioned on the desk as well. One of the things that T1 absolutely has to work on in this matchup is to get those pistol kills. And, well, Carpe says, all right, we've been working on it. I've been working on it.
Yeah, really masterful retake there of the site. And I think most importantly, T1 was able to hick up the spike plant.
Yes.
Really buying them more time. Then with that door being cracked wide open, T1, with Munchkin especially, able to kind of push around there, get more information. And it was a really clogged up DRX plant overall.
And they're just going to continue to pressure with that one-way smoke. Now, just this round, we'll see if they continue to do this. Band's actually holding that backwards position so that they can still anchor the site instead of both of them pushing out initially into A main. Dash drive out as well, but without solid info, he's going to just continue to try to get them to bite onto some sort of bait. T1, though, they fully expect this to be A because look at the position on B side. They're already hanging far back.
Yeah, and immediately here we get a trade out here. Carpe and Mako bringing this down to a 3 versus 3. The retake is going to have to happen right now. We've got Sai over here by the door. Marshall in hand.
Just going to break that open. Now they're letting the Ares make the sound just to continue to pressure it, but Munchkin's going to have to check every single corner first.
All right, he chips at Mako there with the arrow.
He's just not going to move. Mako's going to pretend he's just not there.
Oh, man, but a pretty wide swing here from Munchkin, and suddenly it's just Zest left over again. He's going to switch out to the gun and quietly get that kill over onto Munchkin. This is hard, but not impossible.
Yeah, but they're singing the defuse and the Ares spray. Oh, Zest! He weaves right in between. He almost gets the kill, but Saya is good for another.
That was so clutch by Saya with the Marshall. It looked like for just a second there, that was going to be a triple kill there from Zest.
I mean, the way he just weaved right in between the bullets of the Ares, I thought maybe, just maybe, there was a shot. He even got the initial hit onto Saya, but Desk hyped him up, and for good reason. This man, I mean, he even tries to just stick it, and he immediately reacts.
Perfect no-scope there.
Yeah, just right on point. Now, the big thing is, of course, T1, they dropped a lot of weapons. Only the Bulldog being carried over as Sai is able to pick that back up.
Yeah, it was a pretty rough round win here, and this should be very manageable for DRX, who's going to be very gun-rich and looking to try to create as many opportunities as possible. And simply winning the peak fight, Buzz takes Ban out.
All right, Now, Ban had the Sheriff, so he was trying to go for the long-range duels. Carpe does have the Frenzy. He's just going to look for 1 or 2 kills here, just trying to stay alive. Look at his position. He just wants to buy more time, but Mako picks him off right away on the entry.
All right, Buzz trying to cover Heaven for the time being. We're going to have a duel out here at A lobby. Saya creeping forward very quietly. Remember, he's got the good weapon.
Zest,
oh, wait, did
you
see him?
No, he hasn't heard or seen him. Oh, but Zest reacts immediately.
Zest with just a huge reaction back there, gets that kill. But brilliant tactic back there from Saya, no doubt.
Munchkin does get a nice little kill with the Sheriff, and DRX, they're the ones in position now to not drop any more weapons, right? They committed into a full buy here. T1 Zeta's just going to look to do whatever damage. He's trying to get an angle for these exit frags. Eventually just dying to the spike.
Yeah, just going to let himself die out here. We're going to go into round 4. This is the first win for DRX in a pretty typical ebb and flow of a Valorant match. Again, I expect this to possibly go to 13-11 or even overtime with these two teams. They're both looking so strong. You can see they're countering each other very well. There's a deep understanding of how they're both going to move and react on the map.
Yeah, and we just saw on the scoreboard an early operator coming out as T1 committed to the full bonus. Oh, I just realized Munchkin got that just through the spam through the wall.
Yeah, just 3 shots through the wall gets the kill.
But here's the thing. People were wondering, the desk was wondering, I mean, Zest returning, is this the right way? I mean, he hasn't been playing. The last time he did play against Team Secret, they actually ended up losing. I mean, clearly, Zest is in prime condition. He has been putting up some of these highlights for DRX. Now that operator for Saya player on T1. Initially positioned on mid, but they have the alarm bot, so without an early pick, he will be rotating to where there's a lot more noise, which is currently the A site.
Yeah, and this may be the one time we don't have a ton of action over here on A, at least to start things off. The L drone going to comb through mid, not find any information.
DRX is playing this very wisely. They understand that now, because of the buys coming in from T1, that this is when they want to start pressuring mid. They may not go to it, but they're trying to break the alarm bots. They already successfully did so. They checked that the op isn't there. Now they're going into an angle where the op usually wouldn't be, even if T1 did buy it. The dash in.
Carpe staying quiet back here. Buzz immediately gets that kill onto Saya. That's huge.
Yeah, spots him right through the box, saw the shot. He answers right back, and Mako with a nice swing alongside his teammate. The res comes back out from RB as well. DRX, 5-man force, still alive here at the site.
Carpe solo on HP. Can't possibly try to advance into that position until there's some other headway made somewhere else. We have a swing out, but it's failed there. Zest gets the kill onto Munchkin.
Well, let me tell you, any concerns for Zest having stayed too long on the bench, that's out the window. This guy, he may be the one who's going to carry DRX today if he continues in this form.
We were worried early on about the fact that Foxy9 wasn't present here in the lineup. We had more questions than answers, but I think you're right, William. A lot of that's going to be ameliorated as we see just how well Zest is playing so far.
Team 1 just going to have to go for another save, but here's the thing that hurts them most. They could not even recover the operator. Saya took the risk of just hiding on site, trying to get the initial entry kill. He got the first shot onto Stax, but Stax had his null command up, and Buzz had already dashed through. He got the trade back in, and Saya drops the operator all the way in that corner of Heaven. That cannot be recovered. And this fan's going to walk home for 2 hours if DRX loses. It is raining today. Let me just note that. I don't quite recommend that no matter who wins or loses, but that's how committed they are. Oh, and this is the DRX VIP section. The lady up front, that's actually DRX's designated announcer, who's been leading a lot of their live watch parties and stuff for the fans as well.
Now, we go into round 5 here. Dan, by the way, just equipped with a Sheriff for the time being.
Yeah, it's another weak round from T1, and with that, I mean, Munchkin, here's the thing, Munchkin's already cleared, mid has already been cleared as well. T1 knows for a fact this is A. The 0 points just used to buy time. Saya needs to stay alive. The pressure has already been done.
Well, Saya can wrap around through catwalk up in a tree if need be. It seems like the commitment from DRX is already here. The blind comes in, the jet comes on top of Generator.
Oh, man, tried to go for the shot, but Buzz just swings just a bit wide. Oh! Buzz lands as he gets the shot as well. Carpe's still alive in hell, though.
Unfortunate reload there by Buzz as he landed down into hell, but I think the work's already been done. DRX has been cracking T1 wide open here. Look at the lurk. Munchkin gets Zest.
All right, it's not impossible. I mean, not a lot of time as Munchkin does have to catch up, but if Saya could just get, if he could have gotten 1 extra kill, then maybe they could get the crossfire, but now it looks rather difficult.
Yeah, beautiful spray there from Stax. The third win in the row here from DRX. How many more victories are they going to chain together here?
I mean, DRX looks to be going strong, and listen, Achilleos asked T1 to win some pistol rounds, but he did not mean don't win any other rounds. He did mean that, additionally, you should win some pistol rounds. And T1, again, I mean, they've had to kind of ping pong on their buys the past couple rounds.
It was a pretty incredible entry there from Buzz. Blinded on a generator, able to swing out, get the kill on the player behind the box, and then float quietly up onto A Heaven for the surprise kill down there. He probably would have gotten the third kill in hell had he not started the reload as he fell down.
Yeah, I mean, Buzz with some good positioning. And here's the thing. I mean, Buzz, yes, there have been concerns about his opping in the past in terms of the consistency of it, especially when he's under pressure. However, just his ability to create space, to open up sites has been praised time and time again by fans in Korea and all over the world. And Mako just good for a kill as always. But yeah, that's the thing. As a rifle entry, Buzz has always been trustworthy on DRX. And now with this original 5 coming back, or not quite the original, but the OG for the past year and a half, they look to be going with that again. Buzz just designated to make space.
Munchkin iced out visually. Can't get a read. He knows they're in there. He doesn't know exactly where. Buzz with some pretty good spams, but is really receiving more damage than actually getting any. This is a tough one here for T1.
Yeah, once again.
They bought heavy, but really DRX has this site very much on lock. No real lurks here per se, but again, it's going to be a tough way to hack and saw your way into this position.
And Carpe's flanking very far and out, but that's going to take a lot more time. They're going to have to just start swinging in and going for trades, because otherwise Carpe cannot support them with the no command just yet. Zeta can't reposition right after the drop. Okay, B main is taken.
Okay, they're going to pull back to the next line of defense here. Some nice wall bangs here. But Zest trades it out, getting the kill on Ben. You're absolutely right, by the way, William. He's just so good at this point in time.
Oh, and Zest, he was just trying to buy just a couple extra seconds. RB going to wait for the peek. He realizes he's not holding it. He just hides, plays for time, even gets the kill.
Yeah, and actually manages to escape there with that gun as well. So beautifully done, getting that kill. Crazy moment. We got a timeout called here. T1 saying pump the brakes. We need to try to assemble some sort of a plan. Let's not forget the way this started out was 2 round wins at the very, very beginning for T1. Exciting stuff, but most of a half is more about your rifle play, how good you are with lots of utility. And the further along in this half we get, the stronger DRX seems to be. T1 needs to figure out what's going wrong in their play, make those adjustments, or they could very well lose total control of this first half.
Now, one thing that I think is showing a lot more improvement from DRX than their past forms, right? When they used to just kind of stomp around Korea and then go to the international events and then falter under pressure, is that they are not leaving anything to chance, right? We're seeing a lot more smoke sprays coming out from DRX as they've gotten that experience time and time again against international opponents, and even in Pacific. I mean, even just then, they're giving respect to T1. They know that if it comes down to just pure 1v1 aim duels, T1 could win any day of the week. So instead of just leaving that up to chance, we will make sure we cover every angle, spray through every smoke, make sure we try to lower your health, lower the numbers, so that we always have the advantage once the spike is planted.
I hope this timeout works. We're going to get a very good idea in the next 2 rounds here. And keep in mind, DRX having that opportunity to maybe try to counter the ideas, the mistakes they're seeing T1 play. Let's keep our eyes peeled for that here. We're going into round 7 now. T1, again, a bit starved here as far as guns, but as far as ultis go, there's a lot of ways they could create opportunities here.
Yeah, I mean, there is something to be considered here to try to draw out Zest, Hunter's Fury. They've both been holding on to that and Munchkin's lockdown. I mean, you have your null command ready to go. Maybe you try to just force a trade out of that. See how it comes into play. Of course, Bladestorm was activated by Saya player as well.
We saw in the interview before the match that they're going to try to really keep track of where Saya is on the map. If they can get rid of him, usually it's an easy round, but doubly so here on a budget round with Saya having that ulti proc.
Yeah, and Saya just going to hide away behind that box. I mean, of course, DRX could spam it any time, but DRX, they're slow creeping forward. Saya, he's going to be caught off guard. There's 2 members here, and Saya doesn't know he has to back out. He's trying to run away, but he's been tagged and slowed. And he gets taken out.
That is huge. Good job with the Al drone. You could see he was reluctant. He doesn't want to waste a knife on the drone, right? But then he's too wide out in the open. The punish is real, and now DRX continues the advance onto the B site.
DRX are just gonna take the site and go. They know they have the numbers advantage. Now Munchkin, he does recover a weapon, but he won't get away with it with his life. Zest answering right back, and the entry will eventually happen for DRX.
I would imagine we're going to see some pretty tight angles held here, as you don't want to get into too wide of a position here versus players with sheriffs really just trying to utilize the fact that you could spray out more bullets in a tight corridor.
Yep, Snatch just trying to hide right behind that wall. He'll continue to hold that position and jiggle peek. Of course, the rifle's in hand for DRX, and T1, I mean, yeah, you just got to go in with these trades. Okay, Zeta's good for one. He gets straight back. Now, still no rifles recovered just yet. Okay, now both of them picked it up, but they both get taken out instantly.
Zest is so on top of it. Right now, he's even outshining Mako.
Yeah.
It's really incredible. Even outshining Buzz. Zest is at any moment that it seems like T1 is able to regain control, a second later, Zest shuts it down.
And this is one of the big factors that DRX did have whenever they would go to international stages, is that Zest, he would play that second line of attack and defense so well, while being kind of the mental fortitude of the team, right? I mean, Zest was always credited for being able to keep the team in focus, to keep them zoned in, to keep them calm. And they bring him back out when they need it most in front of a live audience of this scale here in Korea. And he's leading the way as a role model for DRX. DRX continuing, Zest is continuing to clear that alarm bot every time as well. Munchkin's trying to change its position, in a very micro ways, but it's not working just yet. And even afterwards, DRX, just in case, they're spraying down that floor in mid. They don't want anything to do with that alarm bot.
They're going to keep trying to build pressure up into mid here. Munchkin with a good peek takes Zest out, escapes now back through the spawn side of the map. They smoke it out, and it looks like they're going to actually send Buzz in here for a lurk.
I like this idea from DRX. Because you're a man down, because you've already given away your position of the spike in mid, you have to create a curveball. And Buzz, if he can get this kill, that would be it.
Oh, my God.
I mean...
Unbeknownst to him, he just saved his own ass.
Yes.
But now we're going to have the Jet come through B.
Well, they both get taken out. T1 Zeta had called it over to his teammate. Munchkin was already positioned to pinch them over from Switch. And now the spike stranded in mid. Sure, some heroics could happen on the side of RB, but other than that, now Mako picks up a rifle as well. See how much they can do.
Yeah, this is a much-needed, likely to be victory here. As, again, we see Mako go down. It's just RB left over.
Yeah, they know he's here. And, of course, T1 not in a rush to lose any rifles. They are low on credits, so they want to bank up whatever they can. They will happily allow RB to live. At the same time, RB only 1 point away from his lockdown, so if he gets a free kill, he'd be very... Oh, Munchkin's going to... Oh, he's going to peek out.
They're going to try to advance on RB. He's not able to take any more out with him. A good round victory there. T1 very much so needed that. I think a lot of that came when they started, DRX did, to lose control in the push into mid. And then a very bad read as they tried to peek out with their own Jet. Looking around in the back there, it looks like nobody's there, and of course the shutdown happened. And from there, the two players that are on to the B site, it just doesn't matter. They can't get anything done. They don't even have the spike.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing was as soon as mid was spotted, right, and the alarm bot was taken out, it was going to be Munchkin who repositions all, right away into the site to be able to just cover that pinch.
Signs.
Yeah, just trying to frame each other right as they go, but DRX, they've been slowed down a bit, but the credits are there, the ultis are there as well. RB, he finishes his lockdown because he gets taken out at the end of that previous round. Now, again, continuing, the shock dart this time will not clear the alarm bot, but DRX has always continued to spray down that ground as well. And I don't imagine this to be a full entry. You gotta imagine this is just gonna be a little... Oh no, they're gonna commit with the paranoia as well.
Yeah, they managed to chase Carpe all the way down. They bait out the Hunter's Fury. Is he gonna connect and get a kill? RB gets the drop onto Saya.
Oh no. Oh no, this has all gone horribly wrong for T1. The Hunter's Fury trying to slow things down, but everyone was already all the way into tree.
Oh man.
And Carpe was just caught. Alone, right? He was left alone. There was no one there to support him because everyone had been taken out. And hey, DRX fooled me. I thought they would also just try to jiggle peek and get info, and they say, no, we are just going to charge right into tree, and T1, they also get caught unawares.
The implications of this round victory are huge. DRX with 5 pocketed ultis. Remember, the Killjoy ulti oftentimes countered by the Hunter's Fury. Now they're going to be able to create another round where that's going to be very tough, especially on Ascent, to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, clearly, again, the aim itself isn't exactly the big issue here for T1. When it comes down to these 1v1s, they'll pick up kills wherever they can. Zeta just trying to recover his Hunter's Fury as much as possible. And Buzz,
make sure he's dead.
Yeah, having a little fun with his old ex-teammates over from the DRX side and the C9 side, rather. C9 Korea for Buzz, and then before that, it was Stacks, teaming up with Zeta as well. And these guys have a lot of history. Oh, this is their first time watching VCT live. Well, welcome, welcome.
Yeah, we have a very packed audience right now. It is just incredible to see this many people down here for Valorant in Korea. This is a country that did not have a massive history with tactical shooters, but Valorant has been blowing up. The audience is hype. It's been a wild ride here, this VCT Pacific. Now, with 5 ultis rich here, DRX is going to try to advance into A, not necessarily commit, but at least poke in.
Yeah, well, T1, they've gone for a fast push out of mid again from Saya player.
What?
The members in the site, they just have to be able to hide. Okay, just a 1v1 trade is not so bad. Carpe, he needs to stay alive. He's going to try to go for a cheeky kill. They actually slow them down. Saya's already in position. He gets 1 kill, but he's too low. He has to back out.
Yeah, Saya retreats. And we see DRX in a pretty big pinch here. I think they were a little bit too cavalier about trying to walk onto site.
Well, I mean, I think it came down to the fact that, again, they did have those ults, right? So just trying to really force the site open. Not the worst of ideas, but T1 had a good read on it. They stacked A. They send Saya out far and deep very quickly, before the 1 minute mark passes. And they're able to really pinch them and slow them down. Now, because the Killjoy was revived, or the KO rather, they did even out in numbers, but Saya comes back and takes him right back down.
It's going to be up to Zeta to try to sandbag entry. He's going to lurk down in hell.
Okay, the counter arrow is good, but he gets spotted in hell, and he has to turn around, and Mako does not miss the timing set up by his teammate Zest.
Shockingly close round so far. Can Carpe come through here?
He's got to wait. He's got to wait for his teammates. All right, they're both here. Lockdown ready to go. They want to just force this site. The Hunter's Fury comes out. They're using this. They're using this against DRX to try to drop down and miss the noise, but Mako does not get shaken up.
I'm glad you pointed to that, William. It was a really smart move trying to just sink in with the sounds of the Hunter's Fury to land down there on the ground, but DRX, too strong, too good in the reactions. Mako clutching that over in hell. It's 3-7. This is quite the point disparity so far. We've had one, post the first 2 rounds, 1 win here for T1. And that was after the timeout. But it does seem as the further along we get into the half, the better DRX is looking.
Yeah, they look a lot more comfortable. We can hear it a bit in their comms as well. But also not getting overhyped. And I think a lot of that comes down to Zest. He's really holding down that foundation now. T1, broken buys once again, just trying to match their economy so they can buy out full buys next round. They will continue to stack A. Now they're pushing out a B quite aggressively. B main's been cleared. B entry's been cleared. Munchkin now just plants himself to watch for the cross in mid. This allows Zeta to rotate over. He should be checking mid in the meantime, but Munchkin, he doesn't have a way out. He's going to start to hear these footsteps, and I mean, he's just going to go for a single kill or more. He does let his teammates know it looks like they're going to focus around mid now. Can Munchkin get 1 kill?
Yep. Munchkin, if he can
oh my
Buzz
God! Already spots him, he suspects it, and he checks the corner.
The instinct is so good there. They're going to try to rush forward. Now the stack over here onto B isn't terrible, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, T1 reacted quickly. 3 people already in the site. DRX, they don't have to commit to this. If they realize there's too many, they could rotate all the way through defender spawn.
Oh, but I think they peeked out a bit too far. Ban does get that shot off over onto Buzz.
Standing ahead.
All right, the arrow's going to continue to buy time. Oh, T1 trying to wait for Saya player, but yeah, Saya player getting taken out of mid means that DRX, they can just say goodbye B site. Move away, Mako gonna,
oh, this is a weird move. All right, he's gonna hop right into the smoke and actually use that to just get away. He's gonna have to buy them a little bit more time for them to clear up into this area. Now, there is a deep lurk over here for Zest.
Yeah, I love that he just stays there, right? He's like, all right, well, let everyone rotate over. We have better weaponry. We have more members. So I will just make sure that they aren't coming the other way of the map. And he's going to continue to clear out mid. And now they should have an idea that they are both heaven and tree. Man does get tagged by that.
Stack's going to have to switch over to the other side. Mako with the peek up top now. Coming towards tree is Zest.
Oh, he's here.
Oh my
Zest.
God. It's just not ready. Zest is so on top of it. It's just Zeta left over. There's no way to win this round. At least he gets stacks.
I honestly think this might be the fastest reaction times I've seen from Zest. As I say that, he gets taken out by Zeta. All right, Mako finally able to clean up the mess here. Of course, they were going to get the round win no matter what. But you know, this happened last year as well, when Zest initially had taken a break. And then he came back, and he was just like, he had entered the time chamber, and he came back stronger than ever. Now he's here. Yeah, look at him coming, he's just like, all right, he's down, next. His teammates are all like cheering, he's like, all right, next kill.
Yeah. Another one. By the way, T1 is having these breakout performances basically after they've lost. They're winning the gun duels like crazy. It's really something else.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. It's that, again, when it comes to aim duels, T1 is not a pushover against DRX, and clearly you can see from DRX's movement, DRX is well aware of that fact. They are not allowing this to devolve into those aim battles. And I gotta think back to what the desk was mentioning, you know, talking about how PaperX mentioned, you just gotta force DRX out of their comfort zone. T1 is allowing them, you know, to go for these set plays, to set up before they go for the entry, and T1 likes doing that as well.
Right, we've got Buzz coming in now. Hunter's Fury has been activated. Saya getting that shot off onto Buzz.
Well, that all but absolutely blocks off the entry. DRX still just gotta try to force the site open. They think they have the man advantage, but there's still members ready to back them up. Munchkin's already on stairs, and Saya's still alive. The Omen ultimate comes in as well.
Saya gets another, just Mako left over. He's blinded.
Just trying to hide, they hear the gunfire. Saya's ready to go for the flank. Mako knows he doesn't have much time.
Oh my God! This is insane! He managed to get the spike. He's on A. He's gonna get the plant. We have Saya and Ben scrambling to try to get over here. Can Mako set something up? Knives drawn here for Saya.
This was literally the only multiverse where DRX could possibly get the round win in a safe way, and Mako gets the plant, repositions for the 1v2. Is he gonna wrap around tree? Window's already broken, he could creep around.
Mako oftentimes known to be the strongest player in the Pacific region.
They're not sticking it. They're now going to go for it. Mako's good for one, and he gets both!
That was insane! Mako bringing it 9-3, closing out the first half. If there was any player in the world who could do it, it would be Mako.
Absolutely! I mean, the string of events that needed to happen to allow for the round win to come in like that. First of all, the kills. And then he smokes the spike, goes for the old plants, and wraps all the way around. I mean, wow, no wonder DRX trusts him with the clutches time and time again.
Literally a fraction of a second to get that teleport off, then has to try to figure out where to hide, knows it's gonna be a fake defuse, pops out, gets the kill into a blind spray transfer.
Yeah, I mean, he just commits. I mean, again, that's Mako understanding. For instance, he understands, well, if they're just going to stick it from the get-go, I just lose. I mean, there's nothing I can do about that, right? If I make noise, I lose anyway. So he just commits, and then he commits to the spray, and he says, well, if I don't get this kill right away, I probably lose, because I don't know if he's going to swing left or right. I mean, Mako runs the simulation, finds that one answer, and he sticks to it. What an incredible way to finish the first half for DRX, having a 9-3 lead. As we look to switch sides, T1 now going to be preparing their attack.
T1, they need to have an extremely strong half here to make this possible. DRX, you know, they have not even called a timeout, right? They have not, yeah. DRX is just flowing through map 1 on Ascent here. T1 did use one timeout, and that got them one win post round 1 and round 2. They basically won the pistol round, won the free round after that, and from there, DRX ran away with it, minus one little victory there in between all that.
Well, we'll see, T1, how well can you utilize this halftime. Now, granted, this was DRX's selection here on Ascent. No surprise, especially with Zest coming back in. I mean, look at their map selections. They go Ascent and Haven. Just go for the age-old maps with the age-old compositions with Zest back on the board. Rely on our fundamentals. Rely on our set plays. It's worked quite well so far in the first half of map 1.
here with the team comp, kind of the old school comp for DRX. The vanilla composition here. Zess is back into this. Foxy9 not playing on this map. We had some concerns about this, but most of that is gone now. T1 up against the ropes, needs to have the half of their life here if they're going to be able to contend with DRX. Otherwise, DRX is going to run away with map 1.
All right, T1, they spot one mid as well, but this does give a bit of an inkling that it's going to be a B hit. Entry itself not going to be stopped just yet. However, the second line of attack isn't quite here yet. If Buzz decides to peek out at the right time, well, he's already missed that timing just a bit. Saya goes in. Buzz, he cannot get the second kill. Zest all alone in the back of sight.
Last player standing.
Just Mako left over. It's hard to imagine him winning this, but we did just see what he did in that last round, so let's not count him out just yet.
Okay.
All right, no, let's count him out. All right, so T1 gets this pistol round.
All right.
Probably doable to get the next round, but they need to have a stronger showing here.
This is curious to me that just now on the buy screen, it looks like Team 1 not going to buy up to, like something like double rifles like we've seen a lot of teams do to try to overcome that snowball. This fan sign says, Mako, show me the ace, and he's like, well, he got the clutch, but not the ace, so I'm still sad. Like, there's no ace yet for Mako. But yeah, look at this. I mean, it's just Spectres, right? Spectres have one Bulldog. I mean, I guess maybe they're gonna try to buy up in the bonus round to match the firepower of DRX. We'll see how that comes into play, because otherwise, if they just rely on recycling Spectres, that could be a bit trouble.
DRX very much ready for a fight over onto A, but Saya gets that kill onto Mako. That allows T1 to advance a little bit further along. Can Saya find another shot? He does. He gets a second kill. Now there's a third around the corner.
Oh, and look at him dash right by just to create space. Carpe will pick up that kill. Now, I gotta imagine T1 in their head, it's like, well, we can lose like 2 or 3 members. We only bought Spectre's 1 Bulldog, and then we can pick up rifles. Okay, Saya almost gets 4. But now, I was about to say, well, if they don't lose any members, do they just recycle the weapons? I guess that's out the window, because Saya is down.
So this is going to be another round win here for T1. I can't imagine a world where RB can clutch this. He's basically just looking for any extra kill, and he's going to abandon this. Maybe getting an exit frag over here by Tree.
Yeah, but the real question, Tasteless, is Munchkin going to get the wraparound to get the knife kill? I don't think so. He's a little far out. They've missed their paths, but Munchkin's like, oh, where'd he go? He was just right here.
He might find him down here.
Yeah, I mean, Munchkin only has a ghost, right? So he can go for this kill, try to get an extra orb. Oh, he spots him, and he's like, well, I won't risk that.
All right, so here's the 5th round win for T1. But again, I can't emphasize it enough. Once it came to Phantoms, Vandals, and a healthy amount of utility, DRX was nearly untouchable.
Yes. And yeah, okay, so looking at the buy screen, it does look like T1 just says, let's buy up in the bonus round. So they're going to try to upgrade into these rifles, go for the long run. Yeah, just in the comms, they're like, all right, we're going to match their buys and see what we can do here in the 3rd round of the half. 2 Vandals bought up by Munchkin and Saya. 2 Spectres and a Bulldog. I mean, not the worst, right? I mean, sure, you've got the 2 Spectres, but if you can get that entry in, create space, those Spectres can do work inside the site here on Ascent.
We've got some movement up here into mid. That classic Odin has been purchased here by RB this time to basically try to wallbang entry onto B.
Okay, T1's doing a lot of good pressure, though, because the turret had already spotted Munchkin out in B as well, so they know that he got through the Odin spray. Meanwhile, Saya's already pushed out of Tree, but Buzz not quite sure if Saya's made it in. Saya now knows. He hears the reload. He's going for the kill, and he opens up Heaven.
Yeah, and he's able to invade here from the top. He's blinded for a second, hiding in the smoke. Comes back around and gets another kill onto Stacks. This is going to be, it looks like another round here for T1. This is incredible.
Yeah, incredible entry from Saya. I wanted to actually mention this, but obviously it was DRX attacking first in the first half. But T1 has this tendency to say, all right, if we're not quite sure how this round's going to go, we're just going to cut noise. We're just going to go in silent. That has been their go-to way of recovering rounds. And they kind of do it again, right? The jiggle peek initially on Buzz, they push him out with their utility, and then Saya just creeps in. The rest of his team ready to launch an attack from Tree and Main. And as soon as he gets that first kill up on Heaven, the rest of them can just start flooding into the site. DRX says, we've got the lead. we have an Odin. Let's not, greed this and maybe lose out on more credits. Ban even putting up a smoke to cover their exit.
If T1's going to tie this up and maybe even advance and win this map, it's going to look like rounds like this. I mean, the fact that Saya was able to thread that needle and navigate through up into heaven, getting kill after kill, that is essential. And that is a very good sign. Again, an expensive round on both sides, but DRX's defenses, their read over there on the movement up at the A site just was not enough.
All right, DRX, let's see what adjustments are made now because they bought the Odin, and of course that was the buy round. Not going to see any type of early operator coming in just yet. Oh, that was a good luck, have fun cheer for T1 going to Masters. Of course, they've already locked in their Masters Tokyo ticket. All right, just a typical flash drive setup here to plant the jet nice and early in mid.
Ooh.
What?
What?
I mean, I guess he was sprayed down a bit as he was entering as well, and then he lands on the nanoswarm and just gets taken out without a moment to escape the swarm. RB just holding strong with the Odin.
Man, not really getting touched just yet here. Carpe taking some damage.
Oh no, no one had cleared the arrow. I mean, Buzz knew all the information that he wanted. He was able to just swivel from one kill to the next.
Just Munchkin left over here. DRX is back online. Mako gonna hold that defuse here. Munchkin getting a couple here, is eventually cleaned up here by RB. And that's gonna be the 10th win on the board here. DRX, very much so activated. Buzz now with a Blade Storm ready. Same with Saya.
Yeah, oh, he gets sprayed by the Odin, and then he lands. And here's the thing, RB got flash, and he instantly just activates the nanoswarm right before he has to duck out. So, I mean, that's just unfortunate. You don't quite imagine the Odin is standing out in the open like that. Well, I mean, here's the thing, because at a macro level, T1 going for the fast entry there, especially as DRX pushed out from mid, seemed reasonable. Now a counter Odin being bought by T1. So they're going to continue to pressure, but they send Ban back A to see if anyone has pushed out. They're looking to continue to set up a pinch here in mid.
Right now, that's actually huge. Operator no longer in use.
Yeah, that's a massive catch. Now Munchkin does take some damage, but he's going to continue to stick around just to make sure that that operator can't be recovered too easily. Now, of course, that B main is emptied, but DRX doesn't know that. So if they want to recover it, they're going to have to invest a lot of time. And Munchkin's still waiting by with the alarm bot. DRX has an idea that this is A. Look at the Killjoy setups. RB's not moving an inch.
RB's going to be ready to spray this down if they come in. Now he gets two.
Oh, and he just holds the spray for another.
Man, is so on point here. This is still doable for either side, though.
Did he hear the drop?
I don't think so.
I don't think he quite knows. Okay, he just catches a glimpse of him. Saya holds down the spray, transfers it right over.
Saya is a beast this game, and the Lurk is going to get the kill. Munchkin gets that 7th win here for T1. A very interesting back and forth in that round.
Yeah, I like what T1 was doing, though. Going with the counter Odin to pressure B main, right? And just let them know, hey, we're not going to just let B open just because you have an Odin. We're going to continue to pressure it. Oh, Ban got that with a wall check as well. Excellent way to clear out the corner. But the idea being that we're not going to shy away from B just because you have an Odin. However, they were just trying to toy with the idea of B, get information, and then they rotate right over. Now, this plants a lot of questions in DRX's mind of how they want to continue to, make these assumptions based on the default setup, and that is going to lead to the timeout where they can discuss that information.
So DRX finally calling for that timeout. I want to remind everybody, there are matches we cast where DRX literally doesn't time out at all. I was actually wondering this time around, I'm like, they're going to use one, right? T1 is beginning to catch up. They are looking a lot scarier in this half, or second half over the first. They just need 3 more to close this out. The rounds that T1 have won, they've been strong rounds, but there are these moments where tactically DRX could win, or could just win on a peak, right? We've had these moments where it's 3 players on each side, or a 2 versus 3. I'm very interested in seeing what adjustments DRX is going to make and how exactly T1 is going to react.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if DRX, one of the adjustments you make is to actually just push out a bit more aggressively out of A main using that one-way smoke, right? I mean, the one-way smoke is great, but unless someone's constantly watching it, it doesn't do much. And if the other team decides to just flood it with util, it's not going to do you much good either. Okay, so in fact, they just say, let's just empty A main and focus on mid so we can go for these fast flanks as soon as we have info. DRX, they just read this out right. They're trying to fight them in mid. Buzz gets one, dashes right back out.
Yeah, gets the kill, almost gets a second, and is then traded out.
Spike down.
I mean, this is not the type of trades that T1 wanted. They even invested in the lockdown. They thought this was going to be a free round for them.
Yeah, and the spike, by the way, all the way in the south. We've got Zeta marooned up here. It's a minute left on the clock. I mean, not impossible, but it's really hard to imagine how the rest of this can go. He's going to advance forward, but this is going to trigger the Killjoy utility.
Yep.
So they know where he is. The alarm bot's been set off. He's going to scramble, and look, they're going to be able to track his progress over here. Oh, hold on a second. He's going to wrap around.
Yeah, so he's just trying to throw them off a bit. Now, RB, does he suspect it? A little bit, and he's going to be ready for it. He sets up the turret to cover his back. And RB cleans it up. I like this round from DRX, though, because this is a type of push out from the defending side that we have not seen from them very often. Obviously, the Jet flash drive over into B lobby, we've seen time and time again. But supporting from tree and then just going for the updraft to peek, and then the main force here with Mako going for the trade kills right from the arches in mid. A good setup.
A round that kind of ended almost before it started with that good aggressive move out. Round 19 now. Bladestorm is available for Saya. Hunter's Fury as well. We got a lockdown here for RB too.
Yep, has that ready to go. Of course, Hunter's Fury on the other side, so most likely DRX, if they do use it, it will be in a way where they can just draw out that util. Now, it should be noted, DRX also going for these half armors. You know, we've seen the Japanese teams, especially Zeta Division, really commit to that. T1 will dip into it now and then if they think they can get an extra round off of it, an extra buy round, but DRX continuing to stick with that to build up their economy operator in the hands of Buzz, who's watching tree.
Cover.
They smoke this out for now. Is T1 going to seesaw back out?
Well, they should be waiting until Munchkin is able to clear out this alarm bot, right? That's his mission. Once he clears that, it's up to him to determine, does he find any information of a rotation happening one way or the other? Oh, no! They just go right in. Munchkin hasn't even taken out the alarm bot yet. They know that this is the main force, and DRX is ready for it.
DRX with a crossfire, too good. They shut them out of A. Only 30 seconds left. Are they going to go to B, or are they going to try to hyper-commit?
They don't have much time. They haven't left yet, so they got to stick to A or save. I mean, I think the idea is if Munchkin can get a kill. Oh, they're going to just go with the Hunter's Fury? Well, Zeta does get one kill. Munchkin's up in heaven.
Oh my god, this is incredible.
A full flash. They now know that Buzz is still here because of the updraft. They're just going to try to push through. Carpe. Oh, cannot get the kill, but Zeta.
It's just RB left. Oh my god, that was an incredible play from T1. It looked impossible. In the last 30 seconds, they actually pulled that off.
And this is why you can never count out a map of Valorant, because here's the thing. In theory, that was a high-risk, high-reward play from T1. You could have just ended up wasting your ultimate, right? In a round that you were already outnumbered, where you did not have the spike planted. And they just say, well, I can use my Hunter's Fury. If I get a kill, great, but if not, that will continue to allow Munchkin to sneak into heaven and able to get, clear out the site. And now they regain another round. Oh, and now just to even out their econ, DRX, they do not have full buys. Of course, those who did buy, they'll continue with the half armor.
This time around, we've got Zest sending the drone out, trying to see what he can find. Saya's tucked right up over here, just outside a tree. It's going to be a duel between Saya and Mako if either side advances. Munchkin gets the kill on his Zest.
Paranoia comes out, and Saya takes that timing. He hears it, and he knows that he has that one chance to catch Mako unawares. Still, got KO hidden on sight.
Just Buzz back here, and RB maybe too little too late.
Spike planted.
I mean, yeah, you just have the Ares anyway. You've already matched your econ. You just got to look to get whatever exit frags. Or, yeah, you could just pick up the Vandal and leave.
This is a totally acceptable way to handle this. If he can just escape somewhere. Maybe try to get a kill if anybody peeks out through mid. This is going to be the 9th win here. DRX going to be sitting not so comfortably at 11 wins as T1 has rapidly began to catch up. They're almost evened out.
Yeah, I mean, quite frankly, if this is 11-9 and then T1 wins the next round, I think because of the half armor, maybe DRX can get rifles 2 rounds in a row, but when it's not looking pretty, it could be very risky, in fact. And I like that RB. He's not greeting for kills. He already has his lockdown. No reason to pad their ultimates or credits. I mean, when it gets this close, you know, that one extra kill credit, that one extra ult point could make the difference. So RB will just sit tight with that Vandal.
T1 calls for that timeout. You know, it's important that there's a way to economize these timeouts. They know DRX has, you know, only the need for 2 more victories. How exactly are they going to set that up? And can T1 try to preempt it or negate it somehow?
Well, this has got to be that timeout to preempt it, right? Because you know that this is probably the round where DRX pulls out whatever stops they have to create match point. They're going to want to get there. They're not going to want to take the risk. They're probably not going to play super safe default. And so T1 goes for a preemptive timeout. I want to give praise to Autumn here, Coach Autumn here for this, because here's the thing. Back when lock-in happened, one of the biggest criticisms that T1 got, and specifically Coach Autumn got, was there was a map where he didn't call their second timeout until they had already given up match point. And at that point, momentum had already gone over to their opponents. The strategy out the window. I mean, all you were doing was just trying to comfort your players more than anything. There wasn't much more you could do as a coach. Now he's saying, you know what? We know how DRX needs to win this map, so let's stop that in advance. Can he get the right read on the setup here? DRX, operator in hand, surely that is expected from T1.
And from over here for DRX, we do have Buzz. He's going to be positioned up at mid, maybe trying to get a peek out there. Saya has the Blade Storm ready.
Oh, I think this might be a flash drive setup here from Carpe, from B.
So.
Yeah, to plant a Saya to be able to go in. Oh, they're predicting DRX to jump out with the flash drive initially. So that doesn't happen. Now with the smoke, T1 has an idea that DRX is watching mid, right? I mean, the arch is on B, closed off with the one-way.
Okay, so Buzz is going to wrap out into middle.
They're still waiting for this, though. T1, because it's a one-way, they expect it. Oh, Munchkin, completely caught unawares.
Oh, but Saya gets him. He returns the favor. The operator's dropped up in mid. We see T1 collapsing their position right now. Over onto A, the spike being rushed out by Carpe. Lots of Killjoy util over here. Stacks just behind Generator.
Yeah, but the T1 knows that they should have the numbers advantage here because there's no reason for DRX to try to over-rotate, and the operator was dropped in mid. So they are just going to try to flood this site. Now the smoke will slow them down. Pop Flash comes out. Ban not good for the first one, but an immediate trade.
Mako hanging back. He gets one.
Spike down A.
Okay, this is doable. Positionally, this is pretty good for T1. Are they, hold on, they have 30 seconds. Are they going to plant?
Well, they want to wait. They want to wait to find information because if they get caught while planting, it's a 1v2. They want to try to make this a bit more advantageous, but the fragment comes down and Saya gets both kills. No, he gets the last one against Zest. Zeta actually getting one right before he goes down.
Huge victory here. T1 has pumped it up to 10.
And I love that they don't rush the plant, right? They know that if we start planting, Saya's on his own in a 1v2. They try to continue to draw out information. And then the fact that Zeta just stands on the fragment, tries to get one kill, because that way they can still trade 1-for-1 and win the round. The immediate decision-making from T1. Again, we talked about this in Weekly Recap. We talked about it on the desk earlier today, but T1, while as a squad here in Valorant, in VCT, this might be their first big finals, right? Their first best of 5, but as individuals, they have had to play under pressure across all different platforms and all different stages. These guys will not bend under that pressure.
A beautiful victory again there for T1. Down to the wire, DRX in a very tough spot. They don't have great guns. They do have ultis at their fingertips. They could try to trigger here. They could figure out some way to turn the tides in their favor. For now, T1's being pretty conservative. They farmed out the orb over here at A. They're going to quietly switch over into B, or at least try to peek into mid.
Yeah, but here's the thing, is that because of that smoke, the way it was placed from Mako, it's placed to shut off A main. The only way they could have done that is if they had sound of A main, and they had members to use that on A main. This is an eco round for DRX, so T1 takes that information and says, chances are there is a bigger stack over on A. They even use a null command to make sure they don't take any risks. They are just looking to charge right into B.
Now there's a Hunter's Fury available here during plant that could be used. B is a pretty kind of tight area to try to set anything up in. So we'll see if that's triggered up here.
Yeah, I mean, if DRX can get a kill, maybe, right? If they get the numbers advantage. Not going to use it on the plant just yet. Of course, an eco for DRX, so they want to try to stack those up. But the position from T1's very good. They have B main control. Man hiding right under the door as well. Okay, the Hunter's Fury actually coming out from Zeta to just shut down the advances from DRX.
Whoa! Crazy round. It's 11-11 here. T1 is tied this up. The comeback is real. We're just a few rounds away from either one of these teams winning or we get overtime.
If we get overtime in the very first map of the lower finals, I mean, that would be one heck of a way to open up the weekend, Tasteless. But you know what's very interesting to me is that this type of Hunter's Fury, Zeta loves doing this, by the way. He uses his Hunter's Fury very liberally, but this is not something that DRX can compute. Like, in their heads, this is a nonsensical Hunter's Fury. Like,
right.
why would you use that when you're winning the round, when you have the better guns? And T1 just says, we just want to guarantee this round. We just want to get closer and closer. Now Saya has an attacker's operator to try to pick off Buzz, and I mean, listen, Buzz is a great player, but Saya is known for his operator.
Yeah, at times he looks like the best operator player out there. Creeping up into A right now is T1. A site, by the way, positionally looking a little bit squishy. It is a double stack on B as well here for T1.
Okay, T1 surely not going to peek out mid. They've ditched mid. If DRX pushes out, they're just going to let the turret handle that. They're waiting to see if DRX pushes out because they know that that is the best way.
But
oh no!
But Buzz can intercept this as the spike is inbound here.
Oh no! The timing! Oh my goodness! He turns away. He was hiding for so long, and now the entry begins with the Blade Storm. 5v2. Saya already good for one. He spots Zest in the back. They heard the Omen ultimate as well. They can rotate out.
Oh my God! They're just going to abandon it. No, they're going to come back into B.
I mean, either way, they have the numbers advantage. Can they get the correct pinch, though? Malco already down. Zest dodges the flash, but there's too many targets on the screen.
It's just stacks left over. And that means we're going to get the 12th round win here for T1. There's no reason for Stacks to try to contest this. What an incredible comeback.
Tasteless, DRX has been sitting on round 11 for the past 5 rounds, and now T1 is going to be the one who reaches match point first.
I mean, we finished the first half with a score 3-9. T1 with the 3 wins. It looked impossible.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they got that one extra round win after winning the pistol in round 2 at the anti-eco. You know, they had to use a timeout. They barely got themselves back in the game in the first half. And now they're warmed up, ready to go, in sync. And we kept emphasizing throughout this first map of Ascent that the aim duels weren't the problem, right? The individual mechanics, the reactions weren't the problem. It was the setups. And T1 catches up. Oh no. Oh no, they even take out Stacks. No, Rifle saved over for the potential last round of map 1 in this best of 5.
DRX calls for a timeout. Is anybody really surprised? They need to figure out how to get this into overtime, get that hard reset, and figure it out from there. But, I mean, talk about a masterful showing from T1, but also, you know, kind of a maneuvering mistake from Buzz. Buzz just turned at the wrong moment, not appreciating the length of time. You know, if there was going to be a wrap round, he was ready to basically shut down the Sova carrying that spike.
I mean, there's no way he could have known, though, right? I mean, he was stranded in mid for so long. They didn't overcommit. They wanted to pull out from mid, so he had to start checking his other angles as he was exiting. And he just shows himself for a bit too long, trying to get up onto Catwalk. It looked like maybe he was trying to either push all the way in or go back to tree rather than mid. And he gets caught out. But hey, I will say this for all the DRX fans out there. This should be familiar territory. DRX, for whatever reason, loves to go into overtime on Ascent, all right? Every international tournament they've gone to, they've had some insane, like, double, triple overtime. Some of the best highlights in Valorant have come out from DRX matches in overtime on Ascent. So we'll see what they can do. Now, half armors across the board do allow them to shore up these rifles. Hunter's Fury and Lockdown in play as well. I mean, this is absolutely a duel round, even if Saya player has that operator in his hands.
Yeah, Munchkin just one kill away from having that an operator, or sorry, lockdown of their own.
Yeah, Stacks one away from no command as well. Now look at the positioning from DRX. They just empty mid, right? Buzz is just watching. He's jump peeking all the way in the back to see if anyone tries to cross into mid, but they do not want to deal with this operator. They're holding all these angles where they can try to get the jump on him.
Now Mako is back in wine right now.
No way. No way, Saya player!
Oh my god!
Absolutely insane! The angle purposely curated by Stacks to try to get the advantage if someone tries to peek.
And now they're going to slowly move up into B. Mako's position basically meaningless right now. It's going to be just RB over here. Some Killjoy utility on hand. Zest in the back.
DRX senses it. They're pulling their weight over to B. Zest already in the site as well. DRX has a strong inkling. Buzz, he's trying to decide if he has to wait to watch mid or not, but they don't have the numbers advantage. He's going to have to leave it for now.
T1 may have to try to force their way in.
The alarm bot was just recovered. Munchkin should have heard that at mid. Now the entry's going to happen on site in B.
All right, lockdowns are set up. Saya. Oh, Buzz takes out Saya out.
Buzz, there's too many targets. He cannot make his mind, and T1 has broken open the site. Mako against the world. We call him the Clutch King, but this seems nigh impossible.
This is going to be so difficult. Mako going to have to try to figure out how to advance through 4 players here for T1. The first is going to be Munchkin on his side.
And look at the way they're set up. They're not looking to give easy 1v1s. Munchkin, there's so... Oh, he sees the barrel of the gun, and T1 will take the first map victory on DRX's pick of Ascent.
The upset has been started. T1...